Show large time is 6:19. So we have a bit of a Stacy Buckley update. She actually replied to our right to know request demanding that she release the specifications or the details on the contract that was given to a company called West Ed for the Mountain View Middle District. Now here's the thing that I sent her. And I got this back on the 24th. I got this Monday, and I've kind of sat on it because I've sent her a couple follow-ups to which she has once again customarily ignored. But here's what I asked. I asked who the other bidders were and what their services would have cost. Asked for what reason or reasons was the winning bid chosen. Given that you disclosed there were two that were notably less expensive, what is your justification for recommending the second most expensive bid obtained? Which of the applicants were interviewed? Please note, if any applicants, in addition to the ones chosen, were also bidders from the first attempt to solicit services, please advise which quote-unquote round they were interviewed in. Please explain why Ben Hampton was not interviewed in either solicitation. See, I knew he wasn't interviewed. How is it possible for all the bids to be thoroughly evaluated between the submission deadline of September 12 and the school board's September 17th meeting? Keep in mind that two of the intervening 5 days were weekends. Earlier in the year, you pegged the cost of this study at between $30,000 and $60,000. Later in the process, you stated that the committee formed to collect data for the consultants would reduce the cost of the consulting services. Since you originally directly solicited bids outside of the public RFP process and now have awarded a contract in light of a public RFP process, please share just how much money was saved by appointing the committee and kindly provide evidence of the savings. And then I finally asked, why was the bid for $1 not accepted? Please be specific. Would you like to know what I got in reply?
Can you spell the word?
The proposals of the four firms are available for inspection at the SAU number 19 office during regular public hours, 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. If you wish to view the documents provided by the firms. Well, hey, it's a victory. We got her to release those documents, which means she knows she can't hold on to them.
You're like the Colorado River, slowly eroding the stony resistance from the Goffstown bureaucracy.
So I sent her back a note asking her. I just hope
I don't. John Facenda voice from NFL films.
I just hope I don't run out of water by the time
the autumn wind is a radar. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. So I sent her back a note saying. First, I sent her back two notes. I sent her back one that day saying, "Could you fax them?" I'm afraid of what will happen to me.
I get the distinct feeling they're not really happy with you, Mr. Girard, and they don't really want to give you lots of papers.
Well, I get the distinct feeling that they're acting like they got caught.
Uh-oh.
And then I sent her back another note saying, by the way, are you refusing to answer any of the questions below or was not responding simply an oversight? Aren't those cookies good?
They are. Thank you,
Steve,
Mr. Girard.
We're going to try to save you a couple here, Steve, but you should
we're not.
You should have seen the look on Mike's face after he bit into him.
Steve, we're out of cookies.
I can imagine.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Maybe
John Facenda finished him off.
I'm sure my own batch is on its way.
Maybe I'll bring a plate of what's left of the cookies over to Stacy and try to make peace. Maybe not.
It's not a waste of important to me. I think we're going to eat the cookies ourselves.
So, don't they sound yummy?
Well, there's no need to antagonize Steve now.
Sure there is.
I'm just helping our listeners get out of bed and run for their bowl of cornflakes.
You're killing me, Smalls.
So
you're killing me, Smalls.
But so now that Stacy and Phil Pancoast did not respond to the email I sent him last week, and I told him I would hold off on publishing it to give him an opportunity to do that, but. So you can expect at some point today, my blog will be updated with our emails to and from the officials in Goffstown. And I just would say to members of the Goffstown School Board, who are concerned about transparency and accountability and recognize that they're there to serve the public, not to do what they want the public and its processes designed to disseminate information and create a transparent and accountable system of government. It's about time you start opening your mouths in demanding that the laws of the state of New Hampshire and the policies of your own board be followed. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. It really, I've seen a lot of stuff in government. I don't think I've seen a group of people so smug, so content, so convinced that they can do what they want as I have seen the Goffstown School Board. And in administration, let me tell you something. And I can say this because I've been an elected official. You might not like what Rich Girard is doing on the radio. You might not like the emails that have been sent. You might not like the right to know request. But I have to tell you, if I were a sitting member of a board and I saw the media going after one of my department heads, I would have some real serious questions about whether or not there was any validity to the claim, and I might want to have some questions asked in public session or in a private conversation to say, have you at least consulted with the town or the school district's legal counsel to know? I want some answers to this. Why? What is the proper thing for us to do? I mean, most people who come to these things they're average Joes. They run for a board or an office. They're trying to help out. They don't necessarily know all the rules. They don't necessarily know all the procedures, and they rely to a great degree. And there's no difference in Manchester. They rely to a great degree on the professional expertise and reputation of the people they pay good money to do the job. Well, if there are questions being raised and you're not even entertaining the thought of getting to the bottom of whether or not there's any merit to the questions being raised, then you're a dope and you should be voted out of office. Shame on you. Are you there to protect the superintendent? Are you there to do her bidding? Or are you there to make sure that the people's work is done on behalf of the ones who elected you, whose money you spend, whose children you educate? And you know what? I think I might also have the brains, too, to say, hey, Mr. Media Type, I appreciate you raising these questions and da-da-da-da-da. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to give you a little background off the record. I'd like you to know what's going on, what we see and what we don't see, what we can say and what we can't say. And by the way, here's what I'll give you on the record. There is no mystery to this. I think it's funny that people are passing around notes about what happens to the school board when they find out, we're at a meeting, watching a meeting, coming to a meeting, or going to be talking about them in the morning. I think it's sad, too. I can't tell you all of the things we could have done if Goffstown had just not continued to flout the law.
WLMW 90.7 FM.
It's uplifting and powerful, and it's a good message all around.
New Hampshire Family Radio.
It's just a good station to listen to.